different after that difficult lesson?
I don't think it's that we're coaching different. I think we're emphasizing it every time we talk about it. I mean, we talk about that in fall camp, and we talk about downing procedures, whether it's in a sky situation like that or it's open field or whatever it may be. It's really no different from that standpoint. Just overemphasizing it consistently.
So what will you expect your guys to do going forward? Is this situation just going to pick up the ball and hand it to the official?
Yeah, you should always pick up the ball and hand it to the official. Yeah, and we put that on specific people, but now as a group, we got to make sure we understand that.
What did you think of Archer Trafford punting the ball?
He hit some good hit balls, and he hit some balls that he needs back. I mean, we've got to be more consistent in that position, whoever we run out there. So that's pretty simple.
What about your guys at Sam linebacker? What do you think they've done well so far, and what do they got to work on, guys like Tyrus?
The same thing, be consistent. I think he's playing physical. I think I've got to get Tim's in the game a little bit more to keep Tyrus fresh as it goes, But the biggest thing is just consistency with effort, with execution, and showing up with the football, and that sounds pretty simple, but that's really what I want to see, to be honest with you.
Is Rodney playing some there too? Or
no, he hasn't played there much. He played a little bit. I remember it was La Tech or NC State. I can't remember now, but I think it was La Tech actually. But he hasn't played since that. He's been more inside linebacker than Zach.
How have you seen Nolan McCoy kind of step up? He's a young guy, but he's handling kicking duties the last game and a half.
Yeah, I've been pretty pleased with Nolan. He kind of got thrown in the fire there mid game of NC State. Kind of a quick deal, and man, he stepped in and he's done a nice job ever since. He's kind of a loose guy. He's competitive, but he's a loose, kind of talkative guy that goes out there, and I don't think the moment's too big for him, and you appreciate that with a specialist.
Is it tough to have kind of the guys that weren't starting the year as the starters with Nolan and Archer coming in the second, third game and playing like that?
No, I think they've all three. Scott Goodman's the other one. They've been done a good job of stepping into it, especially the two kickers. So really been proud of the depth you've shown there, and guys that can step in and make an impact.
Did Memphis do anything different to kind of slow down Tulu in the kickoff return, or just a...
Yeah, all the junk kicks, slowed us down. But ultimately, we got the same kick there on the opposite hash as we got against NC State that went all the way. And that just comes down to execution and putting a hat in a hat and finishing blocks. So yes and no. Yes, there were some junk kicks there that compresses space and makes it a little more difficult to create your seams. But that one that was, I think he caught it at the 1 or the goal line, it's the exact same kick as NC State, and it's just we've got to execute better.
We've noticed that Austin takes some punts and Wally will take some punts. What's the strategy in that, or is it
situational?
Gotcha.
Situational, field zone, and different things like that.
Is there certain things with Austin that he does that Wally doesn't?
Yeah, in the sky, in like a pooch punch scenario, sky punch scenario, that's something you want to train into a guy and rep it, because there's yard lines and there's cutoffs and there's rules to it, and so we've just trained Austin. And Wally gets the same training. It's just we've kind of put that on Austin's plate.
With the kickoffs with Tulu, do you anticipate a lot of teams are going to be kind of doing those short kicks, or just kind of make it so they can't get as good of a return in the future?
I think it's going to depend on how they feel about their kicker. If they feel like they can hit the ball deep and out of the back of the end zone, I don't think they're going to worry too much about the junk kicking, because there's still obviously the risk you take there. But obviously it's something we've got to be prepared for as we go in every week, because it's obviously a good strategy to